Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and today's video may just be coming to you a bit too soon based on what happened at the weekend, or it could be the exact opposite in this video right here. The distraction, the loads of talking points we're going to have today couldn't have came any quicker, and for me, I'm a bit in between because there is some stuff that still annoys me for the weekend, but again, I need to let that go now because what stands ahead of us now is a all or nothing, one game, one chance, one opportunity to get through to the Champions League as we travel to PSV with it all to play for. Now, of course, I'm not got my head buried right into the sand today. No. I know there is a major talking point from the Rangers perspective surrounding our boy, Alfredo Morelos. I know there's a lot of people that's probably clicked on today's video to not only voice their opinion, but hear my thoughts and opinions on Alfredo, and trust me, I've got a lot to say about that, but that's going to come a little bit later in the video because normally, as always, we like to split the videos up. We look at the opposition and we look at Rangers, and it's usually 4 or 5 minutes with the opposition and then onto the Rangers end, but that's not going to happen today because the oppositional preview is going to be a very short oppositional update because PSV gone in to the weekend had nothing today, ladies and gentlemen. They had their feet up. In fact, they probably weren't doing this actually. They just had their feet up, nevertheless relaxing and thinking nothing else except this game versus Rangers as the governing body, the head of Dutch football, the way that organisation ran, decided as an organisation of Dutch football that it would be a benefit to not only the club, PSV, which they are supposed to care about, but also Dutch football to give them the best opportunity and the best chance in this all or nothing game versus Rangers, to have no distractions so they can focus on that and hopefully get in to the Champions League. And I know what you're thinking right away, ladies and gentlemen, that is absolutely crazy. Imagine the governing body of your league doing what's best for your football club. That will genuinely never ever catch on. But all stabs at the pathetic excuse for the people that's in charge of our game in Scotland to one side. Again, that's fantastic stuff for the PSV side to be given that opportunity and the chance to do nothing but prepare for this game. And everything I've been able to find ahead of this game, there is no fresh niggles, there's no fresh injuries, there's nothing like that. They've done nothing but prepare for war, ladies and gentlemen. And as far as I can see from their side, from what's coming out from the club and what's been said and reporting everything, they are extremely confident in being able to having enough in the tank to see out Rangers tomorrow. I mean, the only slight cog in the machine, the only potential blemish in what has been a perfect week of preparation for PSV is the fact that it's been reported today that Gakpo, who was again phenomenal versus us and got an assist versus us at Ibrox just last week, is actually apparently agreed terms with Manchester United. But again, before anyone gets too excited and start going, "Ooh, I like the sound of that," there's absolutely no way this man will not be playing in this game tomorrow versus us, not only because PSV hasn't reached their value despite apparently a £45 million bid being on the table. Not only is that not happened, but PSV won't sell one of their best players before this game tomorrow. So unfortunately, despite the potential excitement of losing one of the best players to like a Manchester United before the game, nothing is going to happen until it's all said and done regarding Champions League football. And to be fair to them, fair play. That's a proper club dealing with things the right way. I think a lot of clubs around the world of football could probably benefit from doing that. They want to see if they can make the Champions League and get that money first before releasing one of their most important and valuable players that will drastically impact the game tomorrow. So fair play to them and everything. Fair play to the player for being willing to play in the game tomorrow, but at the same time, I really hope his head's been turned. That would be lovely. But truthfully, that's all I've really got to say about this side from the PSV. I'm not going to sit here and bore everyone who watched last week's preview video by giving you a full breakdown of the side. Not only have we already done that in like a 20-minute video just a week ago, but we've now seen them with our own eyes as well, so I'm not going to take your time for granted and sit here and bore you or anything. We know this is a very good side. We know they are a phenomenally attacking side who gets the ball about. The only thing I would say that might be slightly different from what we've seen already is now that their home because some of the things that's already been said out there from not only the manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and everything, what a player he was as well, by the way, but the club and all that as well, and some of the stuff that's been reported is how more attacking they're going to be in this game. I think there will be a slight change in that, because at Ibrox, despite looking dangerous going forward and that, they still, I didn't think after seeing them and seeing how they play in the majority of their games, didn't they really go for it. So I expect them to be even more attacking and take even more risk tomorrow, because they're at home and they have that home crowd on their back. That caused them a lot of problems versus Monaco because of how attacking they had to be at home, because the crowd's so demanding. So fingers crossed we can catch them cold like Monaco did a couple of times with some very devastating counter-attacks. That would be lovely. And with that being said, that's reached the end of the oppositional preview. Let's move away from that and get to the Rangers side of today's video, which usually brings me a lot more joy than it currently is right now, because goodness gracious, great balls of fire, do we have an elephant in the room to discuss. So let's get into it then, shall we? As we've already mentioned in today's video, PSV's week could not be any better. Their preparations for this game could not have been more perfect. Weekend off, loving life and everything like that. We've had the exact opposite, people. Not only did we have a game to play at the weekend, we went away to Easter Road, we went down to 9 men. We had to play the last 30 minutes of that game or whatever it was with 9 frickin' men digging in and running some of our real core players that's going to be playing tomorrow right into the frickin' ground. And when you think that's just bad enough, you say, right, that's about as bad as it's going to get for preparations, right? We end up finding out the day that one of our biggest and best players in the team has been left in Scotland, is not even travelling, and he's not a part of the game plan at all tomorrow. And that leads us to the biggest talking point, ladies and gentlemen. Gio has dropped Morelos for this do or die game versus PSV. If you haven't already shouted at your opinion in the comments before I say a word, because I didn't want to sway, I want to know what you think right now. Didn't wait for someone else to say. I want to know, you watching right now, what is your honest thoughts and opinions? Let me know down in the comment section below. Because again, I didn't want to sway people, and again, this channel's never about me. I want to genuinely know how you're feeling, people. So hopefully I've give you a wee bit, a couple seconds there. If you haven't, just pause it and fire away, because now it's time for me to have my say. And as always, I'm probably going to annoy a lot of people on the actual channel, but it's one of the ones, when I first heard it, it's like the eyes popping out, you know what I mean? It was like one of those memes. I was just like, really? But then I started to think about it, people, and this is where I'm going to annoy everyone. For me, it's not that big of an actual story, and I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but there was not a universe in which Alfredo Morelos was starting this game ahead of Cholak in terms of both players' form right now. Again, people will say, but Morelos has done this in Europe, Morelos has done this versus Dortmund, how important? Yes, you're absolutely right, ladies and gentlemen, but we've not got that Morelos right now. This laddie's been out for 5.5 months. It's no FIFA. We need to stop thinking like this and remember it's real life. In FIFA it says the guy's out for, I don't know, 17 days. When the 17 days are up, he's back to whatever his rating was before. That's no how real life works, people. The Morelos we have right now is back on the road to recovery, and he's nowhere near the Morelos that terrorised Dortmund. The Morelos that's literally put us on his frickin' back and carried us in games in Europe. And no matter what I say in today's video, I am taking nothing away from what this laddie's been able to do for us in the past. He's been absolutely incredible and genuinely carried us in some games, but in no stretch of the imagination does that mean I think that Alfredo Morelos in his current state right now in terms of fitness and sharpness and everything like that needs to be dropped into this game versus PSV. And honestly, I didn't think he would necessarily change anything, even if it was a 15-20 minutes. I thought he was a wee bit further on, then I saw what he was doing at Hibs, and again, it's maybe reactionary a little bit to the red card, but even the red card to one side and the smirking and laughing everything that as he's gone off the park, which has apparently irked a lot of the players and everything that, and we'll speak about that in a minute. But I'm just talking about in terms of what he was able to do on the park. He was buffed off, I didn't even mean that, but you can have it if you want. He was just pushed off a lot of the things when he was trying to hold up. Porteris was bouncing him, the other centre-back was bouncing him, that he never was quite there. And again, you're looking at that Morelos, and I think if you look at his last couple of games, even in the European games that were brought him in and everything, you can see he's no that Morelos. And I can't believe I've just said that, ladies and gentlemen, but I just have to tell you what I actually think. That's what I've seen over the last couple, despite bouncing back and scoring in his first game versus Kilmarnock, where I thought he was really going to kick on. I don't even think he looks as sharp as that. I don't know if something's went on behind the scenes, because he expected, because remember, it wasn't too long ago that Gio says he's so sharp, he's miles ahead, he's ready to go, and everything like that. They want to get a new contract. Then he came back versus Kilmarnock. Then he scored and it looked like he was back. But then Gio made the decision to stick with Čolak, and I don't know if something's went on behind the scenes or anything like that, but I think Morelos, instead of jumping forward, is actually looking a bit more slacker with every single time he's came on the actual park. And again, that's just my opinion. I don't know if you'll disagree with that, but instead of looking sharper and getting better in his substitute appearances over the last little while, I think he's looked, if not the same, slightly worse. So my head's kind of took a wee bit of a turn, and again the red cards probably played a massive part in it for the weekend. I thought Morelos would have had his say on Tuesday if he continued to build up, or Wednesday I should say. Why do I keep saying Tuesday? I do apologise about that, but I did think he would have his actual say, but it's not going to happen now. He's been left in Scotland, and that's going to bring loads of discussion, a lot of arguments, and I'm already seeing it online. So that's how I feel. But let's actually go in and transition in more of the story then, shall we? Because I think a lot of people are just reading the clickbait of Gio's dropped Morelos and that's all you're actually hearing. But there is more to the actual story, because it's not just Gio that's agreed or decided to do this. He has spoke with a couple senior players in the team, and apparently they have firmly agreed on the actual decision. And that, for me, despite this attitude stuff, or if there's attitude issues, because that's not been confirmed yet. Now, there is a press conference at 6 PM today over in Old Deutschland, so if there is any updates, I will let you know down in the comment section below if it is being confirmed about his issues or attitude issues. I'm not really wanting to go into that in case it isn't true just yet. But the fact that Gio has made the decision and he spoke to the senior players in the team who have agreed to the decision, that for me is everything. And that it makes everything else irrelevant. This and this and this and this. If the players are agreeing to it and the managers are agreeing to it, that's enough for me. Because if we are to do the impossible tomorrow and we are to get the job done tomorrow, we need this team unified and together, ladies and gentlemen. No angry or annoyed or fell out or bringing on someone that somebody doesn't think deserves to be there because they've let us down a couple days before. Do you know what I mean by that? We need the team to be singing for the same hymn sheet, people. No battling or anything like that, or having wee personal agendas against each other. That'll probably get ironed out maybe next week or anything like that, but the players and managers agreed the best way forward for them is to go this way. And who am I to sit and question that at all, ladies and gentlemen? So fingers crossed it works. Now again, it could backfire and loads of people will turn on not only Gio but the players that agreed to it and everything like that, and there will be a massive, massive brawl online. But at the same time, as you know, damned as he do and damned if he doesn't. He's dropped Morelos now, massive decision. We keep saying, come on Gio, show a bit of cojones and day son, instead of the Mr. Nice Guy act all the time that annoys some of us. Well, he's made a big decision here. A decision that Gerrard made at Tynecastle not too long ago because Morelos didn't come back in time. This isn't the first offence for Alfredo Morelos. This isn't the first question about attitude issues or anything like that before. So Gio's made the decision now. And again, he's made his bed and he has to lay in it. But again, if he did keep him in the team and he came on and maybe Morelos had another spite to someone, or if he didn't perform, would you then be blaming Gio for bringing Morelos in who was miles off the actual game? I think we'd blame him either way, ladies and gentlemen. So this is my long-winded way to say I actually agree personally with the decision, because for me Čolak's shown he's much better, and for me, if there was a ball to drop in the box, who do I want it to 40? Čolak or Morelos? Čolak especially right now. And if I'm comparing the two players right now, Čolak's above Morelos because Morelos still has a way to go in his recovery to get back to who he can be. Now, if Morelos was fit, it'd be a different conversation, but again, I just wanted to clarify that. So, that's how I feel, and when you take into consideration the player in the team has agreed with this, and apparently there's more to that, it's not just a couple key senior players, but again, I'm not wanting to get lost in speculation. If it is the team and there is something there, then the team comes first. No one, and I mean no one, is bigger than the club. But with the Morelos discussion out the way, the rest of the team news remains to be seen. I want to know what's happening with Roof. Can somebody let me know? Because now that Morelos isn't there at all, we need a striker on the bench. Is it going to be young Lovelace? Is it going to be playing someone out of position? Are we going to see something like that? I just would love to know what the actual extent of Roof's injury actually is. As we know, Hollander and Hadji's both out very, very long term as well, coming back between December and New Year. And I think that's it. I won't sit and repeat the stuff I said just a couple of days ago in the Hibs preview. Everyone else remains to be the same from the last video that we actually discussed. So now all that's left for us today is take this mess and take this madness and hopefully put it in a furnace and come out with something perfect. Because it probably all favours PSV right now, not only because they're a good side and at home and everything like that, but the way our last couple of days have been and the decision it's made. Is there something wrong with the dressing room? Blah, 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 blah. I know. But as we just saw from yesterday, everybody was talking about Liverpool tanking Man United, but that team stuck together and got the job done, and hopefully now, especially with the decisions that's been made, the team responds with their manager, because the manager's under incredible heat right now, so it's on the players to respond if they back him as much as we hear. And you know, people, I know I'm forever an optimist and everything like that, and I can be annoying to a lot of people and bury my head in the sand and be excited, but I'm not going to sit here and say my team's gone out at the Champions League qualifier. Can we go over there and get the job done? Aye. So I'm going to believe it, people. I think there's going to be goals in the game. Let's no straight. This could genuinely be a 3-2, 3-3. Could go extra. It could do anything, people. With no away goals, I'm going to go. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to go with the cheeky channel favourite. Rangers 2, PSV 1. That's right, for the third game in a row. I'm gone for it. But if there was ever a time to get it, let it be this one right here. Cholak. All eyes on you, big man. Answer. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's reached the end of today's video. I know you're probably going to shout at me for a lot I've had to say in today's video, but I try and present you with all the evidence, and then I tell you my opinion and what's actually gone out there. So, again, make sure you let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. But until tomorrow, after the game, I've been CJ92. Take care of yourselves. All the best, and bye-bye.